Hi everyone, and welcome to this time lapse. We got these little apricots, photo references from Unsplash, and as you can see I've changed it a little bit. I didn't want a black background, so I went for good old traditional greeny goldy brown background with more of like a grayish blue tablecloth for them to sit on. The reason I went for the bluish grey tablecloth is because there's a lot of orange in the apricot, and opposite on the color wheel would be the gray tone, blue tones, but I didn't want bright blue like a cerulean blue or anything like that, so I wanted to gray it down a little bit. So just to play with the complementary colors to make the painting, a little bit more dramatic. So that was my reasoning. So these apricots are on pastel matte paper, painting on the pale yellow colorway, 17 centimeters squared. So to get those pops of that beautiful apricot golden orangey tones with little splashes of like a coral pink, I mostly used Sennelier. I say this probably in every single demo, maybe not, but if you want strong, beautiful, saturated, high chroma color, Sennelier is where I go. These were surprisingly quite tricky. I didn't think they would be that difficult, but to try and achieve the correct color was actually quite tricky. So you'll see I'm picking up a lot of different pastels to create the nuances within these orange apricots. I also used the Diane Townsend fluorescence. I used the orange in that set as well to really give them some extra like vibrancy and glowing effect. And this beautiful yolk yellow I just used there, that was Sennelier. Also using a little bit of green. If you have a look in the skin of the orange of the apricot, you can see some green tones in there, some yellow greens. So it's really just about observation and translating what you're seeing and putting it down onto the canvas. And I have to say, I don't think, so I've been doing this for what, 4.5 years, nearly coming up to 5 years now. And when I say doing that, I mean pasteling, doing art. I started with colored pencils and watercolor, and I settled onto soft pastels and pastel pencils. And to date, I have not had a single painting that hasn't surprised me in terms of the difficulty. Some aspect of every single piece I do, I think, something about it is like, oh, this is a challenge, and other parts of the painting are really simple. So, and I come to my painting open-handed, I guess you could say, being like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen today. How's this going to turn out? So with these apricots, I thought, oh, these aren't going to be so bad. Maybe doing the open apricot could be a little bit tricky, but it's fine, we'll get there. And what surprised me in this piece was how difficult it was to get that hue of the apricots with my pastels. Now, I've got a very large range of pastels. I've been collecting, like I said, for nearly 5 years. And I've got all different brands. And wow, to build up the color in these apricots was just a challenge for me. That was the challenge in this painting. The finished piece is okay. I'm not in love with it. I am kind of satisfied with the colors that I got, but I'm not happy with the color of the background and the table. I think it lets the whole piece down a little bit. I kind of wished I'd stuck to the original reference photograph. Anyway, that's by the by. But what I'm trying to say is it's totally okay that not every single piece you produce is going to be a masterpiece, and I'm totally okay with that. Also, I'm working really small at 70, well, not really small, but it is quite small, 17 centimeters squared, so it doesn't take me loads and loads of hours. So I'm not investing loads of hours, but I believe every piece that I put onto paper, I'm learning something. So if I do these again, I will do apricots again. I definitely will consider my background and what the apricots are sitting on far more carefully. well, I shouldn't say far more carefully, just taking more consideration, because I'm totally guilty. I get excited about something, whether it's a color or a subject matter, and I just want to get in there. And I don't often consider the whole piece or the piece as a whole. And that's I'm quite impatient and spontaneous, I suppose you could say, in my work practice. I just go about, oh, I like that, let's get it on, let's start pasteling that. But I think through doing this one, I'm like, I need to sometimes just take a step back and consider the whole piece, especially because I was changing the reference photo. You know, if you're copying straight from your reference photo because you really like it and you don't think there's anything to change, then that's, you know, it's easy. You're just copying from the reference photo. But if you're changing it, you would think I would have thought a little bit harder about what background I was doing. Anyway, never mind. Anyway, this is how we learn, huh? This is how we learn. So this is coming to an end now, but thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.